Ex-prisoners, what is a memory do you look back on from prison? I was doing 3 years for some stupid stuff I did when I was 19. Most days in there dragged by like watching paint dry. But there's this one memory that still makes me smile whenever I think about it. There was this guy named Tony who worked in the chapel with me. Tony had been locked up for 8 years and was one of those lifers who just accepted his situation. He ran the prison literacy program where inmates could write letters to help other prisoners learn to read. That's how he met Carmen. She was in the women's facility across the yard doing time for check fraud. They started writing back and forth through the program, just helping each other with reading at first. But after months of letters, Tony was head over heels. He'd show me her letters during chapel duty, grinning like a teenager. "Look what she wrote about the sunset yesterday," he'd say, pointing to her neat handwriting. "She sees the same sky I do." The other guys started teasing Tony about his pen pal girlfriend. That's when someone jokingly suggested we throw them a wedding. At first, everyone laughed it off, but Tony's face lit up like Christmas morning. "You think we could really do something like that?" he asked. Before we knew it, the whole block was planning this fake wedding. Big Mike, who used to be a painter, made a cardboard arch and painted it white with leftover wall paint. Rodriguez from the kitchen smuggled out ingredients to make a cake using cornbread mix and peanut butter. The laundry guys found some white sheets that could work as a dress. Even Professor, this old guy who'd been locked up since the 80s, got involved. He said he'd officiate since he'd been reading law books for decades. The guards thought it was hilarious and decided to let it happen. They figured it would boost morale and keep everyone busy. They even agreed to let Carmen visit for the ceremony. The day came and we decorated the chapel with toilet paper streamers and magazine cutouts. About 30 guys showed up, all dressed in their cleanest uniforms. When Carmen walked in wearing that bedsheet dress, you could hear a pin drop. She looked nervous but started smiling when she saw Tony waiting at the altar in his pressed uniform. Professor stood between them with this serious expression, holding a dictionary like it was a Bible. "We are gathered here today," Professor announced, "to witness these two souls promise to wait for each other." The ceremony was beautiful in the weirdest way. Professor talked about commitment and hope, while Tony and Carmen held hands through the bars. When he said, "You may kiss the bride," they pressed their faces against the metal and kissed like they'd been waiting their whole lives. Everyone started clapping and cheering. Big Mike was crying. Rodriguez was whistling. Even the guards were smiling. That's when Carmen whispered something to Tony that made him tear up. Later, he told me she'd said, "I'll wait for you on the outside." They cut the cornbread cake with a plastic spoon, and everyone got a piece. It tasted like peanut butter and hope. The guys were laughing and joking, but you could tell everyone was thinking about their own people on the outside. The fake wedding became the talk of both facilities for months. Tony carried around a paper ring Carmen had made him from a magazine page. Every letter they exchanged after that was signed, "Your husband" and "Your wife." Tony got out 2 years before Carmen finished her sentence. He got a job at an auto shop and sent her money every month. When she finally got released, he was waiting at the gate with a real ring. They got legally married 6 months later.